I let him cross. When he had crossed over, my back broke and I fell into the river and died. This happened a long time ago, and it is not just today that I have saved someone when I was at the end of my strength. Those who at that time were the first to cross are my present disciples. The hare who crossed last is today Subhadra. Therefore it is from lifetime to lifetime that the Buddha likes to use exertion, and it is not just today that he never stops. This is why it is said that he has no loss of exertion. 9. The Buddha has no loss of mindfulness. He has no loss of mindfulness. Since he is endowed with all the knowledges of the things of the three times, his memory is perfect and without lapse. Question. First it was said that the Buddha has no failure of mindfulness, and now it is said that he has no loss of mindfulness. Are the absence of failure of mindfulness and the absence of loss of mindfulness the same or different? If they are the same, why repeat it? If they are different, what does the difference consist of? Answer. Failure of mindfulness is a mistake. Loss of mindfulness is a defect. Failure of mindfulness is an error in the postures, the way one holds one's head, comes or goes. Non-loss of mindfulness is the mindfulness lasting during the concentrations and the superknowledges, the unhindered penetration of the past and the present. Question. Why is just non-loss of mindfulness itself a special attribute of the Buddha? Answer. The sravakas and pratyekabuddhas who practice the four foundations of mindfulness well have strong minfulness. But, strong as it is, it still has lows and obstacles and does not penetrate deeply. As I have said in regard to the power of the mindfulness of former abodes, the sravakas and pratyekabuddhas remember their former abodes for a maximum of 84,000 kalpas. Beyond that they have lapses of memory. Moreover, in the path of seeing the truths, they cannot distinguish the successive moments of the 16 minds making up this path. The Buddha himself distinguishes the three characteristics of each of these moments: arising, duration and cessation. There is not a single thing that the Buddha does not remember. This is why he alone has no loss of mindfulness. Moreover, the power of knowledge of the former abodes is a knowledge depending on the memory. That is what the Buddha has power in. The sravakas and pratyekabuddhas do not possess this power of memory, and other people still less. Finally, the Buddha guards his mindfulness by his unobstructed deliverance and his omniscience. This is why he has no loss of mindfulness. For all these reasons, the Buddha has no loss of mindfulness. 10. The Buddha has no loss of wisdom. He has no loss of wisdom. As the Buddha has obtained all these wisdoms, he has no loss of wisdom. As his wisdom of the three times is unobstructed, he has no loss of wisdom. Moreover, he is endowed with the 10 powers, the 4 fearlessnesses and the 4 unhindered wisdoms. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. If the oil is plentiful and the wick is clean, the flame of the lamp is excellent. It is the same for the Buddha who has concentrations such as the samadhiraja samadhi as oil and, as clean wick, the absence of loss of mindfulness. This is why the radiance of his wisdom is immense and uneclipsed. Moreover, since his first production of the mind of awakening and for innumerable and incalculable periods, the Buddha has accumulated all the wisdoms and, in accordance with his high resolution, he has sacrificed his head, his eyes, his marrow and his skull, he has given all his inner and outer possessions, he has entered into fire, he has thrown himself down from mountains, he has flayed his skin, he has nailed his body, etc. There is no suffering that he has not endured, careful to accumulate wisdom. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. Furthermore, the wisdom of the Buddha is aided by all the qualities: morality, concentration, etc. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. Furthermore, from lifetime to lifetime, he has studied all the books, whether it is the conventional sciences or the Buddha Dharma, coarse or subtle, good or bad, he has studied it all and understands it all. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. Furthermore, he has read, thought about, meditated on and investigated the teachings heard from the mouths of the innumerable Buddhas of the 10 directions. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. Furthermore, in the interest of beings and to increase all the good dharmas, he has destroyed ignorance everywhere. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. Furthermore, his wisdom really understands the true nature of dharmas: non-arising, non-cessation, non-defilement, non-purification, non-action, non-functioning. He makes no distinction between true knowledge and false knowledge. He knows that the dharmas are identical and equally pure, without defilement and without stain like space. Disregarding all duality, he acquires the true nature of the Dharma. 1. Entry into non-duality. This entry into non-duality, characteristic of the Dharma, is immense and infinite. This is why he has no loss of wisdom. For various reasons of this kind, the Buddha has no loss of wisdom. 11. The Buddha has no loss of deliverance. He has no loss of deliverance. Deliverance is twofold. 1. Conditioned and 2. Unconditioned. Conditioned deliverance is the deliverance associated with pure wisdom. Unconditioned deliverance is the cessation without residue of all the disturbing emotions with their residues. In the Buddha there is no loss of this twofold deliverance. Why? The sravakas and pratyekabuddhas whose wisdom is not very keen and whose disturbing emotions have not been entirely destroyed have loss of deliverance. But the Buddhas whose wisdom is supremely keen and whose disturbing emotions and the traces of the emotions have ceased definitively without residue have no loss of deliverance. Moreover, as I have said above in regard to the power of the destruction of the impurities, there are differences between the deliverance of the Buddhas and that of the sravakas. The Buddha has the power of the destruction of the impurities and therefore has no loss of deliverance. The adepts of the two vehicles, i.e., the sravakas and the pratyekabuddhas, do not have this power and therefore have loss of deliverance. 12. The Buddha has no loss of the wisdom and the vision of deliverance. There is no loss of the wisdom and the vision of deliverance. In regard to these deliverances, the wisdom of the Buddha is immense, infinite and pure. This is why he has no loss of the wisdom and the vision of deliverance. Question. The Buddha has no loss of anything, why would it be only in regard to such things chanda, virya, smrti, prajna, vimukti and vimuktina nidarsana mentioned in the special attributes number 7?